Right now, there's a homeowner in your area staring at their cracked driveway. They've been thinking about it for a few weeks, and today's the day they finally pull out their phone and start looking for someone to replace it. They're gonna get estimates, and within the next 30 days, someone is going to pour that driveway. The question is whether that someone is you. Because if you're like most concrete company owners I talk to, you're not even in the running for that job and you don't know it. Not because your work isn't good, you probably do better work than half the guys in your market, but because that homeowner is looking in places where you don't exist. They're searching Google, they're scrolling Facebook, they're reading reviews on a Google Maps page, and your company isn't showing up in any of those places. So they're gonna hire whoever does. And here's the part that might change how you think about this. You don't actually need to go find these people. They're already looking for you. You just need to be standing where they're looking. That's a completely different game than what most concrete guys think marketing is. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly where homeowners go when they need concrete work and how to make sure your company is the one they find. Most concrete company owners think about marketing the way they think about sales. You go out and find the work. You knock on doors, you hand out cards, you ask your last customer to tell their neighbor, and that works. Referrals are still the best leads you'll ever get. Nobody's arguing that. But here's the problem. With referrals as your only source of work, you can't control them. You can't tell your schedule that you need 6 more jobs in March because a good customer might mention your name to somebody at a cookout. Referrals are a reward for doing great work. They're not a business strategy. And that's why your schedule looks the way it does. Some months you've got more work than your crew can handle, and some months you're wondering if you should start calling past customers just to find something to pour. The companies that have full schedules month after month aren't doing better concrete than you. They just figured out something that took me a long time to understand too. There are homeowners in your market right now, today, who need concrete work and are actively trying to find someone to do it. They're not sitting around waiting for a neighbor to recommend somebody. They're searching, and the concrete company that shows up where they're searching gets the job. So the question isn't how do I find more customers? The question is where are they already looking, and am I showing up there? That's the shift. And once you see it that way, everything else gets simpler because there are really only a few places a homeowner goes when they need concrete work. Let me walk you through exactly what that looks like. Let's say a homeowner, we'll call her Sarah, has been looking at her back patio for the past 2 years. It's cracking, it's settling on one side, and she's been saying she'll deal with it eventually. One Saturday morning, she's out there with her coffee, she trips on the uneven edge, and that's it, today's the day. So what does Sarah do? She picks up her phone and she types concrete patio contractor near me into Google. And right there at the top, she sees a few ads, then a map with 3 concrete companies listed underneath it, with their reviews and their star ratings and their photos. She taps on one that's got 60 reviews and a 4.9 rating, looks at the photos of their work and calls them. But let's say Sarah doesn't do it that way. Maybe she's been seeing a concrete company's work pop up on her Facebook feed for the past few weeks. Short videos of patios and driveways, shot on a phone, nothing fancy. She didn't think much of it at the time, but now that she needs the work done, that company is the first name she thinks of, so she looks them up. Or maybe Sarah posts in her neighborhood Facebook group, anyone know a good concrete guy? And 3 people recommend the same company. She Googles the name, checks their reviews, looks at their work, and calls. Here's what I want you to notice about all 3 of those paths. In every single one, there was a moment where Sarah looked somewhere specific. Google, Facebook, a maps page, a review profile, and either your company was there or it wasn't. That's it. There's no secret and there's no complicated strategy. There's just a homeowner looking in a handful of places and hiring whoever she finds. And for most concrete companies, you're not in any of those places. You're waiting for Sarah's neighbor to mention your name at the right time, which means you need Sarah to have the right neighbor who used you recently and remembers your name and brings it up in conversation. That's a lot of things that need to line up. Meanwhile, Sarah already called somebody she found in 10 seconds on her phone. So let's go through the places that matter most, starting with the one that's free and that most concrete companies already have but aren't using. If you've ever Googled pizza near me, you've seen that map that pops up with 3 businesses listed underneath it. That's the Google Maps pack. And it's the single most valuable place your concrete company can show up, because when a homeowner searches concrete driveway near me or patio contractor near me, and your company is one of those 3, you're getting a call from someone who's ready to spend money right now. Not someone browsing, not someone thinking about it next year, someone who needs concrete work and is looking for someone to do it today. Here's what makes this one different from everything else we're gonna talk about. It's free. You don't pay for the click, you don't pay for the call, you don't send a monthly fee. Google just sends you customers because your profile showed up when someone searched. Now, most concrete companies already have a Google business profile, but there's a massive difference between having a profile and having a profile that actually ranks and generates calls. And the gap between those 2 things is actually pretty simple to close. It starts with your photos. Most profiles either have 0 photos or they've got 5 blurry pictures from years ago. Homeowners are visual. They want to see your work before they call. Get in the habit of taking photos of every job you finish and uploading them to your profile. Before and afters especially. This takes 2 minutes at the end of a pour, and it's one of the biggest factors whether a homeowner taps on your listing or skips to the next one. Then it's reviews. If you've got 12 reviews and the company below you has 60, you're losing that click almost every time. The companies that dominate the Maps pack have a system for getting reviews. They ask every single customer, not just the ones who seem happy. A simple text after the job is done. Hey, we really appreciate your business. Would you mind leaving us a review? That's all it takes. And reviews with photos are even more powerful because Google's algorithm treats them as more trustworthy than text-only reviews. One concrete company I know went from barely showing up on Maps to ranking top 3 in their area within a few months. And the only thing they changed was they started uploading job photos every week and asking every customer for a review. Their listing now generates the equivalent of thousands of dollars in leads every month, and they don't spend a dime on it, it just runs. This is the foundation. Get this right first, because everything else we talk about works better when a homeowner can Google your name and find a profile full of great work and 5-star reviews. Now let's talk about what happens when you want to reach homeowners before they even start searching. Google is powerful because you're showing up when somebody already needs concrete work. But here's the thing, at any given time, only a small percentage of homeowners in your area are actively searching for a concrete contractor. The rest of them might need a new driveway or want a patio, but they haven't done anything about it yet. They're not searching, they're not asking around, they're just living their life. And that's where Facebook and Instagram come in, because this is how you get in front of those people before they ever type anything into Google. Think about how you use Facebook. You're scrolling your feed and then something catches your eye and you stop. That's exactly what your ad does. A homeowner scrolling, they see a video of a stamped patio that you just finished in a neighborhood 10 minutes from their house. Then they stop because it looks great and it's local. They weren't looking for a concrete company, but now they're thinking about their own backyard. And when they do that 2 or 3 more times over the next couple weeks, seeing your work, seeing your face, seeing your name, you become the concrete company in their mind. So when they finally decide to do something about that patio, they don't Google concrete contractor near me, they Google your name. And the content that works best right now, it's not what you'd expect. It's not polished commercials with drone shots and cinematic music. It's you on your phone walking through a job you just finished. Something like, hey, just wrapped up this driveway over in Riverside. Took us 3 days, here's how it turned out. That's it. No script, no production. It works because it feels real and it looks like something a friend posted, not something a company paid to put in your face. The homeowners who stop scrolling for that kind of video are the same people who skip right past anything that looks like a commercial. And here's the part most concrete guys don't realize. Even when someone sees your ad and doesn't fill out a form or click anything, it's still working because you just showed your company to someone in your market. Do that to 100,000 people over the course of a few months and something starts to happen. Your referrals increase because when someone mentions your name, the other person says, oh yeah, I've seen their stuff on Facebook. Your close rate goes up because by the time a homeowner calls you, they already feel like they know you. The ads aren't just generating leads, they're making every other part of your business work better. That's another place you're now showing up where customers are already spending their time, and it compounds the longer you run it. Now, Facebook is where you build awareness and create demand, but there's a paid channel that puts you in front of homeowners at the exact moment they're ready to buy. And most concrete companies either ignore it or set it up wrong. When someone types concrete driveway cost near me into Google, they're about as ready to buy as a person can be. They're not browsing, they're not thinking about it for next year. They're pricing it out because they want it done. And the first thing they see at the very top of that search result, above the map, above everything else, is a Google ad. Now I know what you're probably thinking because I hear it all the time. Google ads are expensive. And on the surface, yeah, a single lead from Google ads might cost you $100, $150. That sounds like a lot compared to a $20 lead from Thumbtack, but let me show you how the math actually works because this is where most concrete companies get it backwards. That $20 Thumbtack lead went to you and 4 other companies at the same time. The homeowner gets 5 calls, picks whoever's cheapest or whoever gets there first, and you've got maybe a 10% chance of closing it, which means you need to spend around $200 on Thumbtack leads to land 1 job, and it's probably a price shopper. That $150 Google lead went to you because they clicked on your ad, they went to your page, and they filled out a form specifically asking you for an estimate. Nobody else got that lead. And because the intent is so high, you're closing those at 40, 50%. So you spend $150 and you got a job that's worth $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. That's not expensive. That's the best money you've ever spent. The reason most concrete companies don't see those results is because they set it up wrong. They target too wide of an area, so their budget gets spread thin across people they can't even service. or they send the traffic to their homepage instead of a dedicated page built to convert that specific search into a lead, or they set the budget at 15 bucks a day, which isn't enough for the algorithm to learn anything. It's like putting a teaspoon of gas in your truck and wondering why it didn't get you anywhere. When it's set up right, your service area, the right keywords, a page that's built to turn a click into a lead, and enough budget for the system to actually work, Google Ads becomes the most predictable lead source you can have. You put $1 in, you know roughly what comes out, and you can turn it up or down depending on how full your schedule is. That's a level of control over your pipeline that referrals will never give you. So now you've got 3 channels. Your Google Maps profile is catching homeowners who are searching and it's free. Facebook is getting you in front of people before they're searching and building your name in the market. Google Ads is putting you at the top of the page the moment someone's ready to buy. But there's one more piece to this, the thing that takes everything we just talked about and makes it work even harder. If you've been in concrete for any amount of time, you already know that referrals are the best leads you'll ever get. Someone calls you because their neighbor told them you did great work. That person's already half sold before you even show up to give the estimate. No price shopping, no comparing you to 4 other guys. They just want to know when you can start. Nothing beats that. So when I start talking about Google and Facebook and paid ads, I understand why some guys push back. It feels like I'm telling you to replace the thing that's been working, and I'm not. I'm telling you that everything we just talked about makes your referrals better. Here's the math. Let's say right now you're doing about 10 jobs a month, all from word of mouth. And maybe 20% of those customers refer somebody to you at some point down the road. That's 2 referrals a month. Good ones, but 2. Let's say you add a couple of channels we talked about, and now you're doing 25 jobs a month. Same 20% referral rate. You haven't changed anything about how you work or how you treat customers. But 20% of 25 is 5 referrals a month instead of 2. You more than doubled your referrals without doing anything differently on the job site. You just gave more people the chance to experience your work. But it goes deeper than the math. When one of your past customers tells their neighbor about you, what does that neighbor do? They Google your name. And if your Maps profile is sitting there with 85-star reviews and photos of beautiful patios and driveways, that referral just became a sure thing. And they're not even going to get another estimate. Or maybe that neighbor has already seen your work on Facebook 3 times this month without realizing it. Now their friend mentions your name and they say, oh yeah, I've seen those guys, their work looks great. That's not a cold referral anymore. That's a warm lead that's ready to go. This is what I mean when I say the channels feed each other. Your Google profile makes your referrals close faster. Your Facebook presence makes your name familiar before the referral even happens. Your ads bring in more jobs, which creates more happy customers, which creates more referrals. None of these things work against each other. They compound. And that's really what this comes down to. You don't have to choose between referrals and marketing. The concrete companies with the fullest schedules and the most predictable pipelines are doing both. And each one makes the other stronger. You don't need to become a marketing expert. You just need to stop being invisible. And you don't have to do all this at once. If you do one thing after watching this video, go update your Google business profile. Upload photos of your best work, start asking every customer for a review, and make sure your service area and contact information are right. That alone will start putting you in front of homeowners who are ready to hire you right now, and it won't cost you $1. Then when you're ready, layer in Facebook so you're building your name with homeowners before they even need concrete work. Then add Google Ads so you're showing up the moment they do. Each one builds on the last, and all of them make your referrals work harder. Now, if you want to see what a real Facebook ad campaign looks like for a concrete company, the targeting, the creative, the budget, all of it set up step by step, I made a video that walked you through exactly how to build one from scratch. You can watch it right here.